Welcome back to Find a Home in Big Bear. Good day, Big Bear. Section 2 of the real estate division for this Monday. We didn't give the date on the last one. It's May 6th.
May 6th.
Just so you know, I know.
Okay, May 6th.
Because they haven't been doing it. And we're talking about, now what is the title of this? Legislative Week?
It is
for Realtors?
And it's Ledge Week for Realtors. It's when basically we all just inundate the Capitol building for one day. It's actually, we do it for 4 or 5 days, but we have one day in the week that we actually
in front of
we're in front of everybody. The governor, and believe it or not, the governor recognizes the fact that we are definitely a group to reckon with. And he admits that when you got 2,300 agents that show up on the doorstep of the Capitol, they definitely want to make you happy.
Well, and in real estate, you know, everybody's kind of always poo-pooed real estate, but as we could see, that was the precursor to this whole economic issue. As real estate goes, so goes the economy. Right. You know, I mean, the right of home ownership in this country is paramount. It's a big one. It's right up there with guns and free speech.
Well, this is basically a lobbying process that we go through. That we literally we have what they call a hot sheet.
Now, I know you had 40 different bills that you guys went to on. I want you to pick the top 2 or 3.
The main ones were the deficiency, state deficiency forgiveness, which we didn't really get an opportunity to talk much about because it's in suspense right now, meaning that it is basically shelved, and that's bad for those people that are out there saying we're going to get it, even though they would credit it back to the first of the year.
Who's saying this is going to happen for you?
There's agents out there that believe that this is going to happen automatically, so they're telling their clients in the process of doing a short sale that not to worry about it because and the way they figured it is that because the feds did it, and that the feds are already giving you that debt forgiveness, that the state would automatically follow suit.
Let's take 20 seconds and do a little background. What we're talking about is on a short sale and foreclosure.
Let's just stay with the
on a short sale. If you owe $200,000 and you do a short sale for $150,000, the difference of what you owed is the debt.
It's considered income.
It's considered income because you don't have to pay it anymore. So it's just like you got that money. And there are laws on the books where that would be considered income. Ergo, taxable. You pay taxes on it. The feds forgave that tax. The state of California has not.
And you know, you can only figure that the reason it has not been addressed the way you want it to be, and it's being put into suspense, is because the state needs money, and that's a tremendous amount of revenue for the amount of short sales that are out there, and possibly foreclosure, but for the most part, short sale, and that is an amount of that is a great deal of money that would put our help our balance our budget, the state, and everything else. So I understand the value of thinking about it, but when the feds are doing it, and we need money for the federal government as well as the state, this is something that is, you can't literally say these are the people's fault. So there has to be some means of helping people out to get past this point, to tax them on, especially if it's the different figure is $200,000 and not $50,000, which in most cases it is something like that.
Well, and the preponderance of short sales is people that can't afford to stay in the home. So how are they going to pay the tax on that anyway?
Exactly, and do they really care if they do?
Are they reinstituting, debtor's prison or something? Are we going to be, old homeowners working on roads or something?
The sad part about it is it has huge implication on what people are going to be doing and how they're going to treat this whole thing. So if you see the shortfall in foreclosure and short sale, well, mainly in short sale, people are kind of on the fence. What are they going to do? Do they really want to do a short sale if they're not going to get the debt forgiveness for the state? So everybody's been kind of lingering and waiting. And so remember, those people are out there, and those things are going to happen to make a decision. And if when you're lobbying these things, obviously we go and see Tim Donald, and he was just totally perplexed over the whole fact that this has been put into suspense. And so you understand, trying to pull something out of suspense doesn't mean you write a letter and say, we want this done, but it will help. So if the general public starts writing letters to the Senate and to the governor and saying, look, we need this to go through because they're pushing it so hard that there's actually an Assembly bill and a Senate bill for the deficiency. So one or the other to get through.
Both in suspense,
but they're
right?
both sitting in suspense.
It's not like they're tabled or in committee.
Nothing. They're not
There's
even discussing.
nothing going on with it.
Not even discussing.
Wow.
And to pull them out of that literally could take an act of God. And it's very, that was one of the main reasons that we were there. And especially in our, in Big Bear.
Well,
affecting a lot of people.
I was on a listing appointment this weekend, and this conversation came up. I said, well, no, you don't have to pay the federal tax, but as far as it goes right now, the state has not renewed that. It used to be in place, but it's not now. And that means you pay taxes on it. And they calculated what their tax would be on that extra money and how that would impact what they get from the sale of the house, which is nothing on a short sale. They go, oh, we can't afford to sell either way.
What they're finding out is a lot of people, you know, to do the short sale is to help them get out of that financial commitment. And
well, this guy
because
lost
their house, exactly. But you know, the HARP program comes along and it helps people that are underwater, but you've had to make every payment. You can, and if you haven't had any deficiency in the last 6 months, if you've had one in the last 12 months, that's the only way that you're going to get into that program is if you are good as gold. So that doesn't really help those people that are already. You know, the sad part is, what did we hear the most? You know, the only way that we can help you on a loan modification or help you in any program or you can do a short sale is you have to be down on 3 payments at least. Okay, so somebody who was good as gold has now been told to default, and then we can help you.
And we're hearing that. We're hearing that from the banks. The banks are telling people you got to go and not make payments.
All the time. Are you in deficiency? No. Well, then you need to be before we can do anything for you. It's just really an oxymoron in my book.
It's hard time.
I don't understand it. So, but
so that affects everybody. Now, one that's a little bit more local. I think we're calling it what, the fire tax? Because we have been paying, there's money that's been coming out of your property taxes every year to go towards fire abatement because we live in the wood box.
Right.
And there has recently been another tax put on top of that. And just this week they announced that all of our fire abatement programs helping with thinning the forest and the woods and chipping and all have been canceled due to a lack of funds.
Yeah. So figure that one out.
So the double tax didn't take care of what it was supposed to take care of.
And the sad thing is when we're up there lobbying and we're talking about this, they're pushing that particular bill all over the place. And you know, for one moment we're talking to somebody in local ledge on local government to deal with that tax situation because. You know, rightfully so, a lot of people just don't want to pay it because we feel like we're being double dipped, and we are. And so in the process of that, they don't want to talk about it because they don't have an answer, so it gets pushed over into land use. From land use, it goes to, I think our last thing that I heard is we had a forum of just local government forum where everybody talked about 3 main things. They mostly talked about the deficiency, they talked about the tax and the pocket listings that people are generating and keeping to themselves. So those were the 3 main topics, even right down into our ethics groups, everything. Those seem to be really butchering the market the most. But
that's how you get 0 days on market for some things. Yeah,
exactly.
A realtor takes a listing, does not share with anybody except his little group of investors.
And the purpose is,
and so it's not a fair market transaction.
Right, and it's what they call, well, the code of ethics for a realtor is you're going to promote that property to the best. You're writing a contract with people stating that you're going to do your very best to promote that property. A pocket listing means basically that an agent is going to withhold that out of MLS, hold it out of promoting it until he's contacted everybody or she. I don't want to specifically say
personal database.
Exactly, but they're going to contact everybody they know first because there are 2 sides to every deal. If it's a 6% commission, you split that with somebody who represents the buyer and you represent the seller. If that comes down to your holding on to the pocket listing. You have the opportunity to do both.
Double side.
And if you double side, and it's really just stealing opportunity from other people.
Well, and the seller.
And the
because
seller.
if I have multiple
Total
offers coming in, which is not uncommon today. It's not that we see it all the time. If you put something on the MLS, everybody's got buyers in their back pocket waiting for the house.
But this normally only happens in an inventory shortage. It becomes, you're not going to find that when the market is flooded. People are not going to hold on. They want to sell everything, tell everybody, and do what they can. But when there's a shortage of inventory, which there is throughout all of California right now, they're pushing hard, and there's a lot of people. When you hear out of 34 regions that probably 25 to 30 of those regions, each person that came to that microphone to complain about what was going on was pretty much about the
same thing.
The same thing,
Wow.
same topics out of every region. So that lets you know that these are really becoming a problem. And so just kind of keep your fellow agents in check, make them be accountable, keeps the good people good and the bad people away. So.
Well, and as a consumer, one of the things you can do is get in touch with your local board of realtors, find out who are your legislative representatives. Because we've got, how many of our guys were up there? Were we 4 or 5 of you?
No, there was actually 11, I think.
11 from our little local board.
From our board.
And find out. Ask some questions. You know, there's no such thing as a stupid question. If you want to get involved in politics at the grassroots level, this is a great place to do it because it affects your home ownership. And as I try to tell everybody every week, talk to a professional. Whether you're looking to buy or sell or just want some information, talk to a professional. Find somebody that will sit down with you, have a cup of coffee at a local coffee shop, and answer your questions, whether you're buying or selling right now or not. Doesn't matter. And as always, you can reach us here at Exit. We'll be happy to do that for you. That phone number is
909-878-0522, or you can email me at daniel@exitrealtybigbear.com.
And the website is
exitrealtybigbear.com.
And your middle name is?
Edward.
Well, you just on there today. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week, and we'll put some more of these things up there for you. Keep you up to date with everything. I'm John Wells.
I'm Dan Bathurst.
Get in the market. It's a great time.